top priority, decentralizing and shrinking the size of the United States government. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for December 1st, Sunday, December 1st. You imagine how fast this year has flown by? And with all the contentious elections and the way that the left is still going after President Trump, and of course, I guess Fannie Willis thinks she's got a case that's going to be able to withstand, and Trump will be in court as a sitting president. It is interesting when we see and we watch what goes on. I think that as you look at the bigger picture, it's obvious that the left is more concerned with either socialism or cyanide, one of the two, because they're trying to destroy the American way. Remember Superman, truth, justice, and the American way? Well, they don't have the American way, they don't have truth, and they certainly don't have justice. So, again, I don't know. It's pretty frustrating, but of course, you've got many of the Trump nominees have been targeted and getting death threats. Now, I know we get death threats. You know, it's happened before. It's not, you know, I mean, baseball players have gotten death threats. But I think in this time, in this particular way of the world, it's a little bit more serious of what's going on. I think that obviously it's going to be, we've got about 6 weeks or 7 weeks until Inauguration Day. I hope that the passing of power will be peaceful. I hope that it'll be done well, and I will hope that we really start to see some change. We continue to hear talk about the tariffs and what damage that's going to do. You know, we did have tariffs just 4 years ago, and there was no damage, okay, and business thrived. So I think that, again, we forget the real facts, and the real facts are very simple. Tariffs are not going to hurt anybody. When there's a demand for product, it's going to sell. I mean, look at the grain markets today. Grains are at ridiculously low prices before tariffs. Okay, there's not enough demand. Okay, it's a supply-demand model, which tells you that we're in trouble. The yield curve is starting to invert once again. Tells you that we're in trouble. So again, I think that we make far too big a deal. And as you know, I would rather be an island anyways. Okay, so we wouldn't have to worry about tariffs because we wouldn't be importing any of that shit. Okay, I still can't understand why we do our prescription drugs through China, but it's only me. But of course, the lack of freedom continues as Smith & Wesson is deplatformed from Facebook. Okay, of course, Elon Musk welcomed them to X. But I mean, this is the problem. Are we going to go into this guns thing again? You know, the criminals are always going to get the guns. Are we familiar with that process? Okay, why shouldn't tax-paying American citizens that are registered to buy a gun, why shouldn't they be able to have a gun? Okay? Again, the people that want to kill, the people that want to hurt you, they're going to get the gun illegally. There's going to be guns. They're not going away. So I don't understand why we continue to try to hide from the fact that we do have a Second Amendment, and that we do have a fact is that in history, the criminals have always got what they needed. Okay? So it's whether you ban guns from American citizens, the criminals are getting them. So would you rather be unarmed, or would you rather have a chance to be armed? Again, there's talk about Ukraine, and Ukraine wants to be part of NATO as part of a deal to stop the war. Look, this is a stupid war. It is just ignorant that we continue to give them money. Okay, and I think that, of course, we're now looking at bargaining chips, and I guess maybe now that the current administration is going out of office, maybe the war will settle because the free money and the continuation of sending them money will stop. I don't know, but certainly it's ridiculous. But you can see that air cargo flights are lining up, sending a mad rush to avoid the tariffs from China. And of course, again, I don't care. I would love to see tariffs on China. I am sick and tired of everything that's going on. But of course, they have used the back door as well through Mexico. So we'll see what that all looks like. Again, I think there's a lot of things that we forget to really pay attention to. And to me, that's kind of sad. You know, we had a huge negative recession in private wages. So once again, I'm just telling you, you're in a recession. Now, you may not be personally in recession. You may be above the recession. Again, there's a certain point, and it depends where you live, but let's say $150,000 a year. Okay, if you're making $150,000 a year in California, New York, Chicago, you're definitely in a recession. Okay, so but I would say in general, the middle class is in a recession. Yes, they are spending like drunken sailors because they can charge it. And why people continue to max out these credit cards is beyond me. That you cannot bankrupt them on if you decide to go bankrupt. So you're going to be responsible for that debt. And if you are massively in credit card debt, then you shouldn't be investing. You should be paying off your credit card debt, because you'll never get that return of what you're paying for the credit card debt. And of course, as I opened up with, the new department with Ramaswamy and Musk are in charge of decentralizing the government and decentralizing the Federal Reserve, which would be what a boom that would be. You want to talk about a win, is to get rid of the Fed or decentralize the Fed or take away their stupid power, because they're a bunch of fucking morons that have no idea how a free market system works. Okay, they're still using the tools they used in 1913. All right. Haitian migrants are fleeing Springfield, Ohio, so suddenly there are migrants from Haiti in Springfield, Ohio. Suddenly, a lot of the things that were said, and again, I'm not saying it was all true. Okay, again, I don't want to get into the he said, she said bullshit. I'm just saying that there are many, many illegal immigrants throughout this country that don't belong here. And I think that they need to go. Okay, I think these Democratic mayors that continue to fight against deporting, why would anybody, I mean, you have to ask yourself a question. Why would anybody want illegal aliens in their city as a sanctuary city that are criminals? And I'm not saying that every illegal immigrant is a criminal. I mean, listen, I probably know 1,000 illegal immigrants over the years, okay, and I don't have any problem with any of them. But that's not the point. The point is why would a city or a state like California or Chicago, okay, protect illegals when they could be murderers and others where we don't get to prosecute them, get rid of them? Why do we want them? What point does that make? We just proved that it didn't buy them the votes. Okay, Kamala Harris lost the election, and the first Democratic president to lose the popular vote since 2004. So again, it doesn't make sense that you and me and the rest of the American people should have to pay taxes for these people to be in this country. You want to come to this country? Come in the right way. I am all for deporting them all, okay? And let's see what happens from there, okay? Employment claims continue to increase. Well, once again, okay, they're increasing. I've been saying that we're in a recession for about a year, okay? The middle class has been in a recession for about a year, and it's getting worse. Okay, you can come and you can yell at me, and you can write me all the nasty letters you want, telling me that no, that's not true. Just look at the amount of homeless people running around. Look at the amount of people that aren't working. Yes, we're seeing movies just set records on Thanksgiving Day, Wicked and Gladiators. But remember, the prices have gone up so dramatically that it's easier to set records. Okay. You know, we get so wound up in these stupid numbers, okay? You know, not that long ago, as a senior, it would cost me $7 or $8 to go to a movie, okay? Now, as a senior, it costs me $13. So it's not that hard to break a record of when I was paying $7 or $8, now I'm paying $13. You got to figure out it's the percentages. There's a whole formula to look at to see what is real. It's just like the amount of debt that we have from a consumer. The debt is a little bit overblown. The more important part about the debt is how many people are at limit on their credit card. And that is a record number. The number of people, forget about the dollars, because the dollars, listen, again, I go back to when I started trading, the Dow was 800, the Dow was 45,000. Okay, enough said. But again, I think when you look at the bigger picture, we've got lots of problems, and hopefully President Trump will hold up, and we'll get into more in our commentary, but hopefully he will hold up to what he promised. But I think there's a lot of reasons why he will. So let's see what happens. In the meantime, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you had a great weekend. Hope you didn't get trampled on Black Friday, because certainly when I was out and about, it was crowded out there. I will say that. In the meantime, we're going to stop out here for a break. and we'll be back with our market report right after the break here on Bubba's Bottom Line on Sunday, December the 1st. What's up, kids? Well, again, of course, we've got sponsors for this show, and one of our new sponsors for gold and silver physical. Certainly, I've been buying from them for years, and they finally decided they wanted to sponsor the show, and I would certainly check them out. And it's ITM Trading. They do a great job, and if you know my friend Daniela Cambone, she does all of their media, and I do a lot of interviews with them as well. But certainly check them out, and it's learn.itmtrading.com/Bubba. That's learn.itmtrading.com/Bubba. And of course, Capital Trading Group, and our futures and commodities brokerage partner, who's partners with us on some of our products as well. They do a great job with customer service. Their website is on the sides or on the bottom. Check them out, along with TRADIER Brokerage, who, again, saves me $100,000 a year in commission. And since we've worked the new models, everything has been working great. So certainly check it out. Check us out. And of course, don't forget about our high school program that, once again, hopefully, with President Trump in office, we'll be able to get this thing back ready to go and put ourselves back in position. In the meantime, let us get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, Todd Bubba Horwitz, and we will talk about the markets and the market report. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, December the 1st. I'm trying to make time go too fast. In the meantime, markets continue to pop higher. Volumes continue to shrink. Now, of course, last week was a odd week because you have light volume going in. You had a shortened holiday week with basically Monday and Tuesday was the only days that were really trading. But again, it doesn't matter why a market goes in the direction it goes. The fact is that it goes, and it is still putting in a footprint that is going. And the footprint still suggests the markets can go higher. And you know that I believe there's a big haircut coming. But that has nothing to do with my overall position and what I'm doing today. And I do disclose to you each and every single day what my and our positions are in the current markets right now. Again, I think there's a lot of reason to believe, but I don't think, I don't know that anything major will happen between now and Christmas. I mean, for traders, the week is over in 3 weeks. Okay, so we'll see what it looks like. In the meantime, as we look across the board, the major indices were higher for the week. We are short still the Dow. We are still short the Russell. We are flat the Nasdaq, and the S&P. But shorts are coming soon on those. I would suggest the dollar, which we don't trade, but the dollar itself had a little bit of a pullback. And again, no market goes straight up. The dollar exploded to 108, so it pulled back to 106. Again, we don't trade it, but we would have been short it if we did. The euro currency had a little bit of a rally. It had a couple of big up days that were up like over a penny, which is, if you want to understand the math, it's $1,250 a futures contract on a penny move. Okay, so in the meantime, we're still long it, and it's starting to move its way back up. Bitcoin exploded and then sold off. It did make the 100,000, which we said last week. If it hits 100,000, sell. Okay, and again, it's coming back up again. It pulled back down bound to about 90. I think it's about 85 to 100. And again, I expect it to go higher. But for now, I would not be surprised at a pullback at all. Bonds and notes continued to struggle. Now we're still long, and they started to come back a little bit off the bottoms, which means that interest rates are coming down a little bit, but we're still well over 4% in the 10-year notes. But we are still long both bonds and notes. Gold, we are long, which had a nice little recovery. Silver, we're waiting and looking for an opportunity to get long. Of course, platinum is in the middle of nowhere, and we don't trade it anymore. Copper is in the middle of nowhere. We have no position. In the grains, we only have one position, which is short corn. But again, I don't see anything much to do. I would rather be a buyer, although we are short corn. I think the grains have found their bottoms. And meats, cattle, I am still short. Hogs, I'm still flat. I'm still looking for spots to get long. Crude oil, a little bit of a beatdown, but if you look at it closely, as we talked about here often, crude oil is 66 to 72, and that's where it's been trading, and I don't see anything different. Natural gas, we are short natural gas, and it did spike up, and of course that's why we're shorted, because it got too far out of range, and they were looking for the retracement, and here it's coming back down here now, and I don't see anything change there. So at the end of the day, Okay, the markets are still going higher, and I'm not going to tell you they shouldn't go higher. The markets are what they are. Okay, don't fight it, and it's going to get slower. Just be careful, pick your spots, and the biggest advice I can give you, if you're trading, investing, you just stay in the market and you hedge, which we do teach hedging. But the best advice I can give you is if you're investing, just buy what you can afford to buy, stay in the market, and don't try to time the market. Okay, if you're trading, look for extensions of markets that get overbought or oversold. Be willing to take the other side of that, and that would be my advice to you. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line, Todd Bubba Horwitz. It is December 1st, Sunday, and we will step out here for a break and come back with our commentary and, of course, our football picks. Bubba's Bottom Line. Well, kids, again, I'm not going to go through the whole spiel, but our new gold and silver sponsor for physical metals, check them out. It's ITM Trading. They're listed on the side here. Capital Trading Group, TRADIER Brokerage, great partners, saves us lots of money, and of course our high school program. And let's of course get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and my commentary right now. Welcome back. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, December the 1st, and of course I've always got something to say, as you know, but obviously we're getting closer to Trump taking office. We're about 7 weeks away, and there's a lot of talk of things that we're going to do. I'm hoping that the transition is smooth because I do believe that Trump does have a lot of great ideas, and this is in a very interesting time for us as American citizens. This is a one-term president. There will be no going for re-election after this. This is it. He is a one-termer, okay, and it behooves him to do a great job. I know he wants to do a great job. I mean, I do believe that his desire is to be a great president. I don't think that he's the typical criminal politician. I think he's somebody who really wants to go down as a great president. And I do believe his last administration was a great administration and a great run at the president. But again, that's my opinion. But I think that his ideas, and I think decentralizing the Federal Reserve and the government a little bit, taking down the size of government, dealing with the Federal Reserve, I think those are very important things because those are all about money. And if you look at the money that we have pissed away over the years, how we got $36 trillion in debt, and listen, President Trump was no bargain either. Every president continues to expand the debt because nobody has to live on a budget. Okay, but by decentralizing part of government, by decentralizing the Federal Reserve and reducing, that may change and may bring back the free market. That is what excites me as a person, as a trader, as an investor, is the true free market coming back, because over the last 4 years and over many of the last many years, the free market has been taken away from us. So hopefully we will get everybody on board. But of course, I know that there's going to be battles, and don't be surprised if we don't see charges brought against Trump before the inauguration. Don't be surprised, and this is very scary, if there's not another attempt on his life. And this is what really makes it scary about this country right now, because we are very much divided. And the left right now, and again, I'm not against left, I'm a center guy, but right now they're acting more like cyanide. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line, and of course we do have football picks. This week we like Cincinnati Bengals and the Philadelphia Eagles. Have a great weekend, everybody. Appreciate you all. Happy Thanksgiving. And we'll see you back here tomorrow with Bubba's Daily Update, and of course next Sunday with Bubba's Bottom Line. Adios.